I feel like over the last couple of months, or actually last couple of years, there's been MMO after MMO newly released or on the way. And honestly, I can't remember a single time, other than maybe the early or mid 2000s, where we had an MMO rush. So with all of these new MMOs that are coming out, I started to ask, why? So welcome to Legendary Drops. My name is Ian, and if you are noticing, I'm now wearing headphones because it is much easier for recording. I love MMOs. It's probably my favorite genre, whether it's Final Fantasy XIV, World of Warcraft, or Lost Ark. If I'm feeling really degenerate, you could say I like to grind. Or no, I'm winking. 99.2% of you are men. If you've seen any of my previous videos, then you guys would know that I love RPGs. And spending my time exploring a new world, building a new character, learning a new story, or making some new friends excites me to no end. So obviously, when I'm seeing a new MMO come out, it's a momentous occasion. I would imagine any MMO lover would agree that the absolute best times in our life as gamers were those first few moments that we got to step into a new MMO. Still today, I remember stepping into World of Warcraft for the first time, and I was filled with wonder. That initial feeling of being overwhelmed, not knowing what class to play, where to go, what to do, what the systems are, it's a hit that almost all MMO players want to chase again. However, very few games have ever been able to offer something similar. See, now you and I both know just how difficult it is to get a new MMO off the ground. We know that it takes a tremendous amount of time, money, and effort to even get an MMO made in the first place. Even if an MMO does get released, it's next to impossible to get it to find any level of real success, at least compared to some of the titans in the industry. So with that said, why are there so many new prospective MMOs? Simple. They're the goose that lays the golden egg of live service titles. Now, there are successful live service titles that aren't MMOs. I think that's pretty obvious by now. Some of the best examples being Fortnite, Apex Legends, Destiny, which I kind of consider like a MMO light. All of these titles generate billions of dollars in revenue year after year. Fortnite, for example, is averaging revenues of over $5 billion. That's disgusting. Honestly, it's skins, guys. What's wrong with you? Most of it is actually probably from that Chun-Li skin. I mean, damn, look at that value. Anyway, now, while Fortnite has remained popular and is something of a phenomenon in itself for doing so, competitive shooters don't always have the most loyal of fan bases. You may have players that buy continuations in the franchise, but they always are looking for the next game, the next improvement, and sometimes, most times, that new hit isn't from the franchise they're currently playing. You fail to appease the shooter crowd, they ship out. Whether it's from Fortnite to Warzone, from Warzone to Apex Legends, these hoes ain't loyal. All right, I need you guys to take a step back. Put yourself in the head of Slick Daddy developer, okay? You need a bottom bitch. You need somebody that's gonna be there for you at your absolute worst. You need somebody that's gonna go to bat for you when you just stole the bag. You know who I'm talking about? Whoa. Keep your eyes up here. Hey, you want me to put some new transmogs in the game? Yeah. You want me to give you some new swords, maybe? Yeah, they look good on you. Yeah, you're looking good. Want me to buff your favorite class? Maybe give you an expansion or two? Yeah, you like that, don't you? You daddy's piggy bank. Yeah. Why don't you take yourself over to that in-game store real quick and buy you something nice before I raise your sub. MMO players are the most loyal fan base in all of gaming. They get slapped and they still come back. Or they just completely forget that they have the sub on auto renewal. Games like World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV, Guild Wars, Lost Ark, OSRS, they can turn players away and they know that they will likely turn around and come running back even when they do the most heinous of things. I don't think there is a single game genre that has a fan base as dedicated as MMO players are to their chosen games. So why is this? So a while ago, I made a video titled How Final Fantasy XIV and World of Warcraft Change You. And in this video, I go into detail about the positives and negatives of playing an MMO. I talk about the connections that we make, the community that we become a part of, and how even marginalized people in real life can find themselves to feel like champions inside of an MMO. There is this untangible thing about MMOs, this attachment that we get to our character, the community, and the friends that we make that you honestly just can't replicate outside of an MMO. When I stopped playing World of Warcraft after Mists of Pandaria, I would still, ever so often, log into Battle.net just to see if my characters were still there. To put this into context, I didn't return to World of Warcraft until Dragonflight. It's been a long time of me checking. Those characters that I have, the time that I spent playing the game, still during all of this time meant something to me. More than any save file of a single player game that I've played or any Battle Royale account that I have. Except for maybe my Minecraft account. I've actually got some pretty dope worlds on that. I honestly can't think of another genre where it completely envelops the life of the player. I mean, yes, gamers of various genres are incredibly passionate about their hobby, but MMO communities not only develop this relationship with the game, but also this odd parasocial relationship with the company that makes the game. You don't see Call of Duty players talking about the CEO, the producer, or the devs by their name. You don't see people fit those workers into hero roles like Naoki Yoshida with Final Fantasy XIV. The game-to-player connection is on an entirely different level. And that level means money. While games like Fortnite and Warzone currently make more than MMOs do year over year, World of Warcraft, according to Statista, so you can kind of take that with a grain of salt, makes around $2 billion a year. That's not what these companies are after. It's the longevity of the live service title that many of these new MMOs are targeting. Final Fantasy XIV is over a decade old. World of Warcraft, almost 20 years old. Many players from both of these games have been around since the birth of the game. They've been riding waves of good and bad expansions, content droughts, controversies, and more, while still actively drawing friends and family into playing the game. I would imagine that most people share the understanding that most of the live service titles that are out right now, your Call of Duties and your Fortnite, they don't have the longevity of, say, a World of Warcraft. Now, I mentioned previously about how we all know how difficult it is to make an MMO, how costly it is, how many people you need to be able to make one and maintain one successfully. However, have you noticed anything peculiar about any of these new MMOs that are coming out? That's right. They're all using Unreal Engine 5. And for good reason. If you've been on YouTube in the past couple of years, I'm sure that you have seen multiple videos showcasing just how powerful UE5 is and everything that it can do, whether it's the lumen lighting effects, the nanite visualized geometry, the fast data streaming, fluid simulation, world partitioning, or its temporal super resolution. Game developers have found that UE5 not only streamlines the development process, but it can do it while looking really good. You see this truck? It has 7 million polygons. Do you know what that means? No, I don't either. It just sounds kind of cool. Especially super temporal? No, temporal super resolution. It sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. And I like that.
I can call the Egyptian gods!
As the access, ease of use, and cost to make an MMO starts to plummet, the ability for small developer studios and large studios to make an MMO of their own becomes much more manageable and profitable of a venture. We've always associated MMOs with a need for massive studios, hundreds of developers, insane budgets, and lengthy periods of development time. However, thanks to UE5, some generic assets from the Unreal Store, a bit of used bubblegum, and maybe a Kickstarter, everyone and their mother is making an MMO of their own. So what does this mean for the titans of our industry, for our Final Fantasy XIV and our World of Warcraft? Well, it means that they need to tighten their belt, get to work, and start making their games better. Yes, I know, but Ian, a lot of these MMOs, they all look the same, and you said it yourself, it's really difficult to get an MMO off the ground. Most times, the players just go right back to where they came from. This is true, very true. However, all it takes is for one hit to disrupt the market. And once that market is disrupted, it spells a lot of problems for those major developers. Even games like New World and Lost Ark have taken a few chips away from the giants. The ability for a new MMO to come in and disrupt the market is going to be magnified by the fact that the two major MMOs, World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy, are so far behind in game technology, fidelity, and just their game engines in general. Also, keep in mind that the fan bases of those games are getting older by every year, which means that there is a new prospective audience, a younger audience, that those games just don't appeal to. As we already know, gamers migrate to what is popular. If a game seems to be rising quickly, it could cause a major upset in the industry. If one of those MMOs, or if none of those MMOs, come to any major success, 40,000 players here, 150,000 players there, each new game whittling away at the current player bases of the major games or taking away potential new players. Blizzard and Square Enix need their respective MMOs to remain popular. They have a ton of other games underneath them, I understand. However, none of those other games have what their MMOs have: loyalty, and also a barrier to entry. See, we've already gotten over the hump of the $15 a month sub fee. None of the rest of the games have anything like that. We're more likely to step down to play any of the other games underneath the MMOs. We're more susceptible to being marketed towards the rest of all of their titles that they have. I would bet this cookie, it's my favorite cookie, by the way, that's why I haven't opened it. It's actually not my favorite cookie, it was just sitting there. Oh, my camera moved. I don't know why that happened. Anyway, so I would bet that cookie that if you played World of Warcraft, you've probably played Overwatch, you've probably played Diablo, you've probably played StarCraft. I would bet that if you played Final Fantasy XIV, that you've probably played Dragon Quest or any of the Final Fantasy games. We're much more susceptible to the other products that the company has. It treats it almost like the MMO is like a funnel that funnels us to the rest of their products. That doesn't necessarily work the same way with all of the rest of the products. I would say it's highly unlikely that a player playing Overwatch all of a sudden wants to start playing World of Warcraft. I would say that a player playing Tactics Ogre is a lot less likely to sign up for an MMO and start playing Final Fantasy XIV. I'm sure in the past you might have heard some marketing techniques such as like loss leader, where you have this one product that the company might take as a loss, but they'll always keep pumping out because they need it to stay popular because it funnels people to the rest of their products. This is obviously less true for the other products that that company has. This is a unique trait that is really exclusive to MMOs. It's creating something that draws players in and then funnels them to the rest of their products that they already have and that they plan on making in the future. This is exactly what these new prospective MMOs are after. They want to make an MMO. Why? Because not only is it great for the longevity of their company, it's something that creates a very foundational amount of revenue for them, but it also creates a fan base that will most likely try out the other products that the company plans on releasing in the future. This is perfect for a prospective or new developer. All right, so how does this actually affect you and me, right? Because that's actually the thing that we care about. How does this affect my games or my interests? Well, I'm happy to tell you it means great things, my friend. Great things indeed. It puts a smile on my face every time I see a new MMO announced. Because let's say Blue Protocol and Ashes of Creation become smashing successful hits, right? And we all love them. Everybody piles on. It's the new games that we play. Well, smashing success, everybody. Fantastic. Absolutely great. Nothing really matters. We got new games to play. And the old games that we played are, well, pressured to either make new games that will appeal to us or better the games that they already have or fall into obscurity. Now, let's say none of that happens. Let's say all of these games are absolutely trash. They're in the garbage. Every single one of them is Wonders of Eternal World. Jesus Christ, that looks terrible. Anyway, let's say they're all terrible. it doesn't matter, because all of those dumpster games still serve as disruptors in the market. And it's just enough to make sure that the companies, the games that we play, have to stay on their toes. Otherwise, we might walk out the door. So with all of these new prospective MMOs that are on the list, why don't you guys tell me which ones you're the most excited for? Drop a comment down below so I know how to target you in the future. Me? It's Blue Protocol. You can notice from the anime, everything, it just comes with the degenerate territory. It kind of is what it is for that one. But yeah, I feel like I do this every single video, but I love you guys. It is absolutely insane, the growth of the channel over the last I've only been making videos like this for like 3 or 4 months now, and you guys have been eating it up. It's just been an absolute blast. The channel is now fully monetized now, so I am a corporate chill. So pay me. You guys can join the channel now. I guess that's like a thing. So $5 a month if you guys want to help me make more of these in the future. I keep in mind I do work a full-time job, 40, 50, 60, sometimes 70 hours a week. So it does make it a little difficult for me to get out videos regularly, but believe me, I do try. If you guys get a chance to, I do go live on the channel some evenings, so drop by, come say hi, come have a chat. I'm usually down to talk about just about anything. So love you guys. The cat is sadly on his perch. Maybe I can still give you guys a little meow. That's all you get. All right, see you guys. Bye.